I recognize my running may be the source of a lot of controversy for the student body at large, given that I served in an SRC regime that came extremely close from being removed. I recognize this and I'd like to apologize for the shortcomings of this SRC, and I take full responsibility for any actions I may have taken to exasperate issues therein. Amongst those issues include sitting in that yes or no vote meeting and not informing students of my knowledge of the presence of 2 unknown alleged rapists or persons who have been accused of rape. I stand before you today to admit that I lacked the bravery to stand against the legal formalities which compelled councillors to silence. The university as an institutional structure has fallen behind. It is unable to tap into the language that is required to tend to most of the pressing problems of the day. This ideological problem is one that cannot be combated seasonally, as it was not created in a single moment. What we are dealing with, rather, are deeply entrenched issues that speak to the core of human experience. Starting with the paternalistic relationship that this university has with its students. It is thus not valuable to speak about previous SRCs, but rather to those faults. How, for instance, can we collectively imagine a sustainable transformative project that puts the students first and does not rely on the superstructures of a largely untransformed university to dictate the terms of our existence? How does the SRC as a concept come back from almost being dissolved earlier on this year? I cannot stand here before you and suggest that I can single-handedly turn the students' experience around. Rather, because the university does not take students seriously as thinkers. I believe that it is time we take ourselves more seriously. I believe in the power of a collaboration amongst the student body to create an environment that is conducive for thinking and growing. An environment that does not silence the students with disabilities, or the transgender students, or the black students, or the queer students, or the poor students, and then turn around and expect the student who has been suffocated to thrive. We know our struggles. We know what deprives us of sleep and makes it impossible to achieve the type of results that we ourselves want to see. It is hard to get a first when a venue is inaccessible to you because the university failed to imagine you might come here. It is hard to make the dean's list when your race, your gender, your sexuality, or your class are constantly being thrown in your face. But these are the realities faced by many of us, each in a manner that the student standing next to us is not likely to fully understand. The SRC has been criticized in the past for being little more than party planners. Perhaps then, it is time for us to start using those planning abilities for a common good. Maybe it is time for the SRC at the university currently known as Rhodes to communicate with movements and activists who form part of the student body and organize. Because we are students and not extensions of the machine that is management. Amongst us, in this university alone, we have students who are well versed in issues that many of us just became aware of. How arrogant is it to proceed as if we can speak on behalf of anyone without speaking to anyone? Today, I'm not pitching to you a new SRC president. I'm pitching to you a new SRC. An SRC that does not remove itself from the realities faced by the student body. SRC councillors that put students first and that are students first. I want to work closely with the transformation and activism and projects manager to ensure that there is a steady communication of what is needed and how it can be done. But it must always be clear that we cannot do it alone. We cannot tackle rape culture in a small office in the Steve Biko building and expect that the silent protest be enough when it is a societal problem that people take with them to their residences each day. We need to change the temperature of this campus so that it is not conducive for the kind of behavior. We cannot make bumper stickers to combat racism when students are being subjected to discrimination by high-ranking staff members. We have to make this campus physically uncomfortable for racists. We cannot say we denounce transphobia and discrimination against non-binary and queer people, whilst we continue to enjoy the privileges of a highly gendered and highly patriarchal campus. We cannot pretend that the students who suffer from mental illnesses are not silenced into oblivion. We simply cannot proceed as if these issues do not speak to each other on multiple levels. I say we because we do this to each other. We are the ones that suffer. I say we because we can make the change if we understand our power. In the academic life of a student, one will see many SRC cabinets come and go. It cannot be that we find ourselves back at square one at every grazzle. This has to be a shared objective, and I believe that it is time that we take that seriously. When a fee increment comes, it cannot be the anxiety of the poor students alone. As citizens of this country and as students of this university, it should make each and every one of us ill. When a student is raped, it cannot be the anxiety of a survivor alone. As living, breathing human beings, it should make each and every one of us ill. When a student cannot move freely through this campus because their body irritates white supremacist, patriarchal sensibilities, it should make each and every single one of us ill. My name is Rolihlahla Mabaso, and I'm not asking you to help me become SRC president. I'm asking you to help me organize. Thank you.